message to the U.S., Russia to launch a Zircon missile during an international exercise with China. Upgraded KH-101 cruise missile fires heat traps. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, who also attended the ceremony to accept the ship into combat service, said the frigate will campaign in the Atlantic and the Indian Oceans, as well as the Mediterranean Sea. A clear message to the US and NATO forces: it is the first instance of Zircon being used in international exercises. According to foreign media, the missile is going to hit a surface target located at a distance of more than 500 kilometers. The Russian frigate Admiral Gorshkov, currently on a long-range training voyage, will conduct a training launch of a Zircon hypersonic missile during a joint exercise with the navies of South Africa and China. Recall that on January 25th, the Russian Ministry of Defense stated that the frigate had conducted a strike with a Zircon hypersonic missile on a sea target at a distance of more than 900 kilometers in the western part of the Atlantic. Western Atlantic is, of course, shores of not far from North America. Now, the Ministry of Defense also said a series of joint exercises are to be held off South Africa in February, jointly with South Africa Navy and the Navy of the People's Liberation Army of China. Previously, on January 10, the crew of the frigate Admiral of the Fleet of the Soviet Union Gorshkov conducted a launch training on an enemy model in the Norwegian Sea. The exercises were conducted using computer simulation of the tactical situation. Sailors also practiced repelling enemy air attacks. KH-101 cruise missile upgraded to fire thermal traps. On January 26, an air-launched KH-101 stealth cruise missile landed in Ukraine. Several photos were taken of the spot where the missile fell, but a new unit previously absent in the design of the rocket has attracted the attention of some experts. At least 3 fired capsules are visible on it, unusual for this type of missile, especially for the design of the KH-101. The 3 capsules, according to space experts, are thermal capsules designed for launch. It's a heat trap, say photo analysts. Some argue that the heat traps do not activate automatically. According to this theory, thermal traps were released from the KH-101's hull at some point during the missile's flight. This claim is supported by the lack of missile launch detection system, as its standard practice in such configurations. This is a turning point in the war. Moscow does not follow the same set plan, but adapts according to the situation. The missile is proof that the Russian armed forces are considering options to increase the effectiveness of the KH-101. So by this logic, we can assume that this missile is not the only one that receives such an upgrade. Thermal traps increase the effectiveness and performance of the missile during a missile attack. The KH-101 is now clearly capable of engaging 2 targets while also having to destroy enemy air defenses. It's very possible and entirely possible that these thermal traps are intended to fool air defenses. In May of last year, more detailed reports began to arrive about the Russian missiles being used. The KN-101, also known as the AS-23A Kodiak, uses 35 American-made chips. It was revealed this time of year. The Ukrainian intelligence service then broke the news by showing images of the integrated circuits of a missile that failed to explode. The KH-101 is a Russian stealth missile developed in the late 1990s. Its appearance was to replace the outdated Russian KH-55 missile. The KH-101 warhead is conventional. The missile has another version to use a thermonuclear warhead, also known as KH-102. The KH-101 has a range of up to 5,500 kilometers and a cruising speed of 190 to 200 miles per second. That's meters per second. And the maximum speed of 250 to 250 meters per second. An electro-optical system and a guidance system are part of the missile's equipment. KH-101 is most often launched by 2 types of bombers, the Tu-160 strategic bomber and the Tu-95 strategic bomber. This is from Pentapostagma, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. The article doesn't state exactly when these international exercises will start, I guess any day now, and this is translated for you. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box